Okay, so this is now the time to create a new task in Taskmaster using Claude Code in order to create those migrations. So let's go take a screenshot from our PRD, not PRD, or ERD, entity relationship diagrams. And then we have this Claude Code running here. I'm going to resize it so that I can go to my desktop and drag and drop the screenshot. So this is the screenshot that I want to give it to my Claude Code and then prompt it like this. Can you please add the Taskmaster tasks in order to create a Postgres Supabase migration for creating these tables? What we would like to see is a table called leads that will have all the information that you already know about capturing leads. You can check the mock data, what sort of data fields are required for capturing leads, and also refer to the PRD, the original PRD file from this file. And also extract all the other fields that you need for lead calls, lead emails, lead evaluations, lead comments. And since you already have access to all the code base, you can evaluate and put all the columns in place in this migration file so that I can run it and create all the tables. And also give me clear instructions on the README file on how to run migrations and what sort of env environment variables should I take care of. So I've just realized that we haven't pushed the current changes from the last part. So that would make sense to quickly go there and push these changes. I believe we added or cleaned up tasks. And now that new tasks are coming in, we'll then push it to GitHub as soon as it's done. Apparently this file does not exist. Okay, I understand why it doesn't exist, because this folder is not inside this container. Right now we are inside the container. It's a little bit tricky. Like, we can run this in iTerm, not in this terminal, and then Control V should work, but this one won't work. All right, so this is now running and creating all the tasks and generating the README files. What I will do is, once the tasks are generated, I'll double check if it understood it correctly or not. If not, then I'll fix it, and then I'll come back to the recording. So the task is completed, but one thing I discovered is that it has created these tasks as separate tasks in here, which is not the correct version. I would like all of those tasks to go as subtasks of setting up the Supabase database. So literally under task number 16, so that we can get them all in one go. Although these dependent tasks, like dependencies column, is already capturing the dependencies of which one should be done first, and then these can be done. But still, I would like to make sure that this organization is done correctly. So therefore, I will go here and prompt it this task number 16. As we can see, all of them are dependent on task number 16, but still I would like to go and move them all in that manner. Can you please move all of them in task number 16 and onwards so that we have a clear organization sequence, so that we create the database first and then come and create the front-end integrations of the database. So, and then update the task numbers of the subsequent ones. Please make sure that you don't create subtasks, so that if these individual tasks are complex enough, and then we can create subtasks for each individual task. For example, creating Supabase row level security might need subtasks. Therefore, keeping them individually in one task is good enough, but just reorganize them in a way that once we are done with all the migration tasks, and then we should have tickets related to creating the front end and full stack Next.js application code for the routes, basically for server-side routes to read all the data from Supabase. So reorganize all the tasks, evaluate them, and make sure that their sequence are in the logical order. Well, when I was talking to the microphone, I realized that it's not a good idea to put all of these tasks as the subtasks of 16, but just moving them up would be good enough change. All right, so this is now running. Let's see as soon as it is finished. Okay, so the tasks are completed. I can see that all the standalone tasks are moved there. We could re-execute taskmaster to make sure that task number 16 and onwards are correctly done. Yeah, because it didn't have the task numbers, so the task numbers are kind of like still the same. It just moved it up, which is okay. I don't care what the ID number is, but the sequence of it should be like that. Migrate mock data to the Supabase. Refactor CRUD, implement real-time, create dashboard reporting fetch, implement webhook endpoint. Okay, so the tasks that are in here apparently didn't move correctly. No, it is correct. So optimize performance implementation. So literally tasks numbers 16 to 43. This is all about Supabase integration. What I would like to do now is first commit this so that I capture all the tasks. Added Supabase related tasks. And now what I will do is prompt it like this. Since it already has the context and my confidence on Claude Code has been increasing lately, I can also do it this way. Can you please now implement all the Supabase related tasks so that my entire interface is integrated with Supabase database? And if I add a new card, it is stored in Supabase. And also the Kanban displays all the data from Supabase. And since we're going in this direction, I would like to correct one small orientation that we had earlier. We said we're going to change the n8n workflows first and then come back and change the web application. But it's also okay. We've finished the entire web application because we can also manually add new cards in our web application. Once this is done, and then we can go and create the n8n workflows at the end. Or if the time was of a problem, we can also ignore doing that and do that as an add-on to this course, because I've been running for the past 2 weeks for this course, and I really want to release this course as soon as possible. So now this is running. I'll resume recording as soon as this long code generation is done. Okay, so this finished processing all of those changes that I have asked it. And it's saying that I should copy this and then carry on with the database credentials. So let's go do that. This is the environment variable that I should be copying here on the root level. Have it here Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be... No, it's okay. It has to be like this way, like grayed out. Why? Because otherwise then it will go to GitHub and then that's not nice. So, because we'll have probably credentials here. So what we need to do is, I like the way it's left instructions here right away. Copy this file into this. Okay, first thing first, we need to bring the Supabase URL, and then the unknown, and then the service role key. So let's go to our Supabase again. In the dashboard, Samantha lead gen, and then project data API. This is our project URL. Copy. So settings API project URL. This is our project URL, and then Supabase anon key. That is inside the general settings or API. It's right. Go to API keys here. So the unknown key is this one, Supabase unknown key, and then service role. Obviously, it has to be secret, so I will delete mine as soon as the recording is done, but you have to be careful not to share it with yours, with anyone else. So once you have done that, then the instruction says like, see the database with sample data. I believe this is already written in the README files somewhere. So there should be some information about seeding database. It is just one command that you need to run, npm run seed. So if I go to package.json, you can see that it added this one important script called seed. Let's run the seed here. npm, this is not the place, it should be inside this folder. And there is host does not match binary version this. Okay, there is an error, perhaps I need to do an installation. Did I not do installation? Okay, it is installed, but then something wrong. We can go back and fetch it to the AI agent right here. Enter, so it can find the problem in here. Due to version mismatch is built. Okay, as I anticipated, there might be some version mismatches. Let's double check what is the Node.js version I have here, 22. And I hope still we have version 22 here in the terminal. In order to do that, I will create a new terminal here just to not disturb. So we have 22 here as well, that's okay. Maybe it was something in the script. We'll just wait for a minute if it finishes without any disruption. Apparently it is done. So missing environment variable. I see, the environment variable has to be inside this. It's there. All right, it's not finished yet, so let's wait for this to finish and then we will carry on. All right, so we have all the fixes done. Let's see if the seed is running now. Still, I see some undefined errors. So I'm going to run this one more time through the LLM. Let's make sure that, yep, This is correct. Meanwhile, if I check the task list, this is not the right directory. I need to get out. So the status of the task list is not updated. So maybe I can also ask Claude Code to update the task lists. I will hit enter as soon as this is done, and then we'll resume. All right, so let's run the seed now. Apparently, it is stuck in an endless loop this time as well in the same area. What I would like to do this time is clear the entire conversation and prompt it like the following. Before this entire thing, I would like to prompt something. Can you please evaluate all the code changes that you've done for the migration? There must be some version mismatch. There is a problem with seeding the database. Something is undefined. Try to find out what, and this is the entire log of npm run seed. So since this software is using the clipboard, I have to recopy this one more time. And let's see each other in just a minute. Okay, so now let's try it again. Apparently, the tables are not there. Well, not apparently, but visibly, because I don't see any tables here. But at least we're having some progress. The errors are showing the correct errors. Let's check this out further. Alrighty, so we have a situation here. Although the migration shows that we have these things executed with some warnings, but if I go to Supabase, let's go to this project, and then here, and then in the table, I don't see any tables. So what is Claude Code saying to me is to take this whole SQL file and then execute it literally inside the editor of the SQL editor of Supabase. Since this is an educational content, I don't want to kind of overcomplicate this to make it production ready content. So therefore, I'm going with the vibes as we are vibe coders. So I'm gonna pick this file, this copy this entire thing, copy it, and then let's go to the SQL editor of Supabase, and then select the snippet, paste it here, execute it. If this was successful, I should be able to see tables here, right here. So let's go and see that happening. There we go. That's a very good sign that it worked. And if we go to editor, and if I refresh, at least I see the leads table going on. So apparently, the rest of the migrate should work. If that's not the case, then I may need to do this for the rest of the tables. So see you guys in the next video for the rest of the tables. Okay, so I am copying and pasting the rest of the SQL statements in Supabase. This should definitely resolve the problem we have. It's all gonna come from these SQL files, literally coming in this order. if you're facing a different error, a different message than the success message that I'm facing, same concept. You just need to copy paste your error message to the Claude Code IDE, and then it should give you the right instructions on what to do next. So just to explain what was missing in this step, which I don't want to prolong this video with, is the step that would execute all of these statements that I'm doing manually in an automatic way, so that it would execute a migration, a so-called migration command on a new Supabase instance. So imagine if you are creating a new instance of this database, you would not be doing these copy pastes by yourself. The software would be doing this copy paste for you. So that's the only missing part in this for us. But what we are going to have is at least the next video, which will be obviously building the rest of the features. So there we go. It is the last piece of SQL statement that should work. Hopefully it works, and if it works, then there we go. So it worked. Now if I go to the tables, and there we go. We have all the tables with all the columns that we are looking for. Literally all the columns that not only we are looking for, but the Claude Code LLM is looking for, because Claude Code has been building the entire UI with us so far, and it is very well aware of the mock data and all the fields that this mock UI needs, like literally all these fields, like the title and description, and once you go inside, all these details, and if it's an item that has some emails, all this detail and email detail and evaluations details, all of these are supposedly already in our Supabase instance. So with that, see you guys in the next video.